After the incredible resurrection, Thomas stood among his friends, feeling the immense weight of a mission far exceeding anything he had ever known. Jesus then gave him a charge that would pull him away from the dusty, familiar streets of Jerusalem toward an unknown horizon. He boarded a sturdy ship, watching the churning waves crash against the weathered wooden hull as he sailed into the vast, intimidating ocean. With a determined yet humble fear in his heart, Thomas gripped the railing, his eyes fixed on the distant line where the water met the sky. An ancient map materialized before him, tracing a perilous journey from the familiar lands of Judea all the way down to the southern coast of India. That parchment dissolved into the breathtaking reality of Kerala, where tall coconut trees swayed over incredibly lush, vibrant green landscapes. Finally stepping onto the Indian shore, Thomas was met by curious villagers whose expressions shifted from surprise to intrigue. The foreign traveler began speaking with passion about the incredible news of a risen savior to anyone who would pause to listen. Soon, entire villages and small communities began to naturally gather around him, drawn by the power of his earnest message. He spent countless hours among the sick, kneeling down in the dirt to pray fervently for complete physical restoration. Thomas dedicated himself to lifting the spirits of the hopeless, offering tangible comfort and profound spiritual encouragement. His core teaching resonated deeply, sharing the radical and unconditional love of Jesus Christ with every soul he met. New believers were immediately brought into the faith through the simple, powerful act of baptism in cool flowing rivers and clear village wells. The fellowship deepened as he sat at humble tables, sharing simple meals and breaking bread with the newly formed families of faith. He consistently sought out the hurting in the crowded marketplaces and quiet homes, offering quiet solace to every suffering heart. Slowly but surely, simple Christian communities began to form, built on faith and strong personal bonds between believers. They raised their very first meeting places, structures composed of humble wooden beams and woven palm leaves against the blue sky. The ministry was marked by undeniable power, like the moment Thomas commanded a man unable to walk to stand up straight and receive healing. He prayed with fierce conviction for a woman clearly tormented by deep-seated, crippling fear, releasing her into sudden peace. His presence brought tangible relief, calming the chaos and restoring deep tranquility to families torn apart by prolonged suffering. Word of his works reached the local Indian kings, who would stop their important affairs just to listen intently to his compelling message. Merchants and busy traders paused their important dealings, asking thoughtful, probing questions about the nature of this new teaching. As the months passed, the crowd swelled exponentially, proving the unstoppable momentum of the message as it took root across the region. However, this surging influence inevitably sparked a rising wave of opposition from powerful religious leaders, deeply angered by his success. Furthermore, local authorities grew intensely suspicious of the growing numbers and the unquestioning loyalty of Thomas's followers. Amidst this escalating tension, Thomas retreated alone to a windswept hilltop near Mylapore to seek strength and solitude. The wind whipped around him, yet he whispered a sacred vow that he absolutely could not deny the Christ, no matter the ultimate price. In the quiet moments that followed, he saw the distinct silhouettes of approaching soldiers, armed with long, menacing spears, completely surrounded by the glinting steel of his executioners. Thomas deliberately looked up toward the heavens in a final act of devotion. He spoke his ultimate declaration with unshaken, radiant faith, "My Lord and my God," affirming everything he had journeyed and suffered for. The spear struck home, and he fell heavily to the dusty ground. Yet the profound peace in his eyes never wavered for an instant. The final images shift to a beautiful montage showcasing the enduring Indian churches that blossomed from his courageous seed of belief. We see vibrant scenes of worship, the next generation of believers praising God with joy and heartfelt devotion. This is the lasting legacy of Thomas, the hesitant disciple who chose the entire world over the comfort of home, planting the seed that grew into a forest.